Oops. Hi everyone. Okay, so living limitlessly. What does that mean? What are we here for? Okay, so living without limitations. What does that mean to you? I don't know. But what it means to me is living without the limitations that have been put on me by others, meaning family, friends, schools, public figures, religious, whatever's, anything, right? So society in general and their limitations. Nah. What I did is from a very young age, I didn't have the luxury of having two parents or even one parent to teach me during my very most critical years. Ages 0 through 8, it was me, my mom, and my little brother. And out of the three of us, I was the only parent, the only adult, and the only one with any answers. Go figure, right? Yeah. It's kind of funny when you're a 3-year-old and you remember your mom coming to you for advice for everything. That was pretty cool, actually. But here's why she came to me for advice, okay? Anytime something has piqued my interest, I have sought out why it is there, where it came from, and what it's doing now, whatever the subject. So for instance, and this is a perfect example because it flows right into what I would like to talk about next. So, for example, how many of you have heard, you can't have your cake and eat it too? Yeah, well, screw that. Anyway, when I first heard that, I was maybe 4, and I said to my mom, why would I have my cake if I can't eat it? Why would I even have a piece of cake if I wouldn't eat it, And she goes, good point. I thought to myself, why isn't that the first thing everyone asks? Why don't more people ask that question? And what's in the cake so I can't eat it, So, what I would like to talk about throughout this video is knowledge, experience, and understanding. How the 3 words relate, what they mean individually, and how they can better your lives. More importantly, why you should care, okay? Here's why. Because you want to eat your cake and have it too, right? Hopefully that's why, because that's what I want to do. So with that philosophy, I have lived my life self-taught, which means anytime I've been interested in learning about something, reading, riding a bike, or starting a business, or even doing online videos, I research it, find out who's done what wrong and who's done what right. And then I go towards the right person and hopefully I can, follow their example. But I usually try to take what's right and add my own little something to it because I gotta be original. That's just me, Maybe you don't. But if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. Okay, so I looked up, where did that saying come from? So, having your cake and eating it too, origin, that's what I Googled. And I went through several different pages. I mean, I don't ever stop on the very first Google page because that's what everybody else sees. I want to know the in-depth answers, the ones behind the curtain, the ones that aren't put right in front of your face hey, look at me, look at me. I want to go find the ones that are hiding. Those are the answers I want. Because it's not a good source unless it's from the original source or close to, a quote from Aristotle is not as good as hearing Aristotle himself, but it's close to it, so it's still pretty good. Anyway, so why does having your cake and eating it too apply to knowledge, experience, and understanding? Well, Having your cake is a perfect example of experience. Okay? Experience. Now, what is experience? Experience is going through, meeting, or doing person, places, or things, right? Verbs, whatever. So experience is doing. Okay? It's living. Duh. Experience is living. Everything you do, everything you say, everything you go through on a daily basis, on a moment basis, meaning second to second, millisecond to millisecond, guess what? It's an experience. You're adding it to your database subconsciously, and it's reprogramming your full computer to make the you are right now. And that you changes constantly because we are always learning and always growing and always, hopefully, seeking new experiences and understanding. But I find that a lot of people skip the experience or the understanding, and they just settle on the knowledge. Like going to college, for example, and not doing anything in the field that you went to college for. It's a perfect example of having your cake in front of you and not knowing why you can't eat it. So, experience is having the cake. We'll go ahead and draw a little birthday cake slice. And it's not going to be pretty, so just bear with me on that. Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, there's something kind of looking good. I don't know, maybe it's a chocolate cake. I'm gonna make little chocolate sprinkles on top because I like chocolate. Make it a chocolate cheesecake. Yeah, close that sounds yummy. And I'm a dork. So, here we have a chocolate cheesecake. Yay, yummy. Okay, experience is having your piece of cake. Now what do? Okay, you have it in front of you. You're probably gonna eat it. Any kid would, right? So that's the simplest answer. So you eat the cake. Yum, 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 yum. I'm gonna eat this cake. It's gone. It's in my belly. I ate the cake. Oh no, the cake was poison. Oh gosh, I'm dead. Oh no, the cake was for someone else. Oh, now I feel bad. Oh no, the cake didn't exist. I'm like, now I'm crazy? I probably sound like it, right? Well, no. See, now comes knowledge. So, knowledge. Knowledge is the question. Most would say it's the answer to the question, but I'm not looking for a literal definition right now. I'm trying to explain something. So don't get hung up on the details too much. I mean, do if you want. I don't care. Okay, so experience is having your cake. Knowledge is knowing why you shouldn't have eaten the cake. Oh no, I'm allergic to sugar and I got fat. Okay, so there's your knowledge. Now, without the experience of eating the cake, would I have that knowledge? Nobody told me it was poison. They just told me I couldn't have it. Nobody told me it was for someone else. They just told me I couldn't have it. They didn't have an answer as to why, so they just told me I couldn't have it. Well, that didn't stop me. So here I am, and I've gained a lot of weight because I ate my cake. And so now that we've eaten the cake and we've gained weight, or maybe we'll say it's poison because I don't want to offend anyone. I mean, I've been on the heavy side, I've been on the super skinny side. Now I'm kind of in the middle and I'm liking it. So, I mean, I relate to y'all. Men and women, I'm not just talking to the women here. I mean, guys go through weight issues too. They just don't gab about it like women do. True story. Anyway, people are people. Quit genderizing. Gosh, it's just like being racist. So knowledge is knowing why we should not have eaten the cake. So we'll say it's poison. Poison. Oh no, the cake killed you. Knowledge is poison. No, just kidding. Knowledge is awesome. But eating the cake was poison. So knowledge would have prevented us from dying. So knowledge is life too. See, all of these words have to do with living limitlessly and successfully and happily. Most of all, most importantly, happily. I mean, if you want to know how to be happy, I'm giving you a step-by-step guide, video tutorials on a daily basis. Well, hopefully daily. We'll see. Depends on how I feel. Anyway, so then we have understanding. Now, understanding is, I had my cake, I ate it, I'm dead. Okay, I understand now. I shouldn't have eaten the cake, right? So, understanding. We'll do angel wings because I don't want negativity related to these words. And once again, my artwork is not pretty, so there's my little angel wings and halo. Anyway, understanding. So, oh no, I had my cake. I ate it, even though I wasn't supposed to, and now I'm in heaven. Okay, well, now I understand why I couldn't eat my cake, right? But here's why that whole metaphor goes right into the garbage. It's because everybody can have a slice of cake. It's the people who, we'll call them the bakers, okay, who came up with the you can't have your cake and eat it too in the first place. So the bakers have created this fallacy world where we kind of do things a little backwards. I mean, if knowledge came before the cake, then we wouldn't have eaten it, and then we wouldn't have gained the understanding to not have eaten it, right? Okay, so that's why experience came first, because through experience is how we learn the best, the fullest, the most, and how we gain true knowledge from a first point perspective, from the source, and understanding. Now, why is understanding so important? Isn't knowledge and understanding the same thing? No. And here's why. I mean, you can look up the textbook definitions if you like, but I'll tell you why. Knowledge is knowing something. Understanding is knowing why something is the way it is and how you can make it different. So with understanding, you can say, hey, that piece of cake is poisonous. I'm going to eat this piece of cake instead. And there you go. You have your cake and you ate it too. Now, limitations are just the person telling you you can't eat your cake that's right in front of you. That's the limitations that I'm talking about shedding. Okay, so understanding. How is it different from knowledge or experience, right? Okay, so knowledge is knowing something. Understanding is what? Understanding is knowing the reason why. It's knowing why. Why can't I eat my cake? Okay, and then experience is the answer. Okay, so knowledge is actually the question, why? And it's also number one, because knowledge should come first, doesn't. And I'll tell you why. I mean, I'm saying that because you may disagree, but you'll get my viewpoint once I explain why. See? Understanding. You gotta wait for the understanding to come before you make judgments. Okay, so experience is eating the cake. Oops, no, sorry. I was going to put eating. Doing. Okay? And then understanding is living. It is the answer. Okay, so knowledge is the question. Why can't I eat my cake? Experience is doing. I'm gonna eat my cake. Understanding is the reason why, the answer. Okay, so understanding, oh, I shouldn't have eaten my cake. Oh, now I'm in heaven. Boo-hoo. Knowledge, experience, and understanding all must be attained for one to work. You can have knowledge and understanding, but it's not really understanding unless you've experienced it. Sorry, because that's like listening to one of Aristotle's quotes and saying, oh, I get it, or I get what he was saying, but because we weren't actually there and we didn't actually hear him say those words or how he said them, it could have been misinterpreted through all of these millennia later. Have you ever played the game Telephone? It's where one person whispers a phrase or something into somebody's ear, like the red dog ate the blue wagon, okay, for instance. And then you go in a circle and each person whispers the same phrase into the next person's ear. When you get to the end of the circle, that person says the phrase out loud. So by the time you get to the end of the circle of, say, 10 people, right, you get the red dog ate the blue wagon. The bled frog ate green dragons. It comes out something totally stupid, totally ridiculous, way off track from what it ever was. And a lot of times it doesn't even sound like the original saying. So that's what I mean by you can't have knowledge and understanding. Those two just don't exist without experience. And then again, experience and knowledge? Well, if I have experience and I have knowledge, well then I've gained understanding. But what about understanding and knowledge? Wait, we just did that. What about understanding and experience? So let's see, I go through something, but did I really understand it? I think I do because I went through it, but that doesn't necessarily mean I've gained understanding about my situation. I don't know how the other person felt. I don't know everything that surrounded the circumstances of what happened. So therein lies the, once again, knowledge. I didn't have the knowledge. So I can't say that I understand without having all the factors. It's like doing a science experiment and not having a beaker one that has no fluids or anything in it to show the normal state of things and how they change. If you don't have that first example, how do you know how they changed or evolved? You don't. You think you might, but you don't. So that's why knowledge, experience, and understanding, all three go together. And here's why they will lead you to a fuller, richer existence. Well, for one, because you can have your cake and eat it too. And for two, because I said so. And for three, here's some more concrete facts. Okay, so I actually looked up where that saying came from. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Do you know where it came from? It came from colonial days when George Washington was president. And, right after Abe Lincoln, it was George Washington. Sorry, George Washington was president, okay? And he said, a common saying around white people were, tell that slave he can't have his cake and eat it too. Meaning, say the girl of the house or whatever got a book, it was given to her or something. And so she takes it back to her living quarters with her family and friends and says, hey, I have this book, but nobody knows how to read. Great, what do you do with it? I guess that's good kindling for the fire. You don't have the knowledge or the experience to even know or understand what to do with the book, right? So, giving a slave a book was like having a piece of cake and eating it. That's where that saying comes from. So, I dislike it greatly. And I don't believe in racism. I don't believe in genderizing. I don't believe in even differentiating between age, because you cannot place a person's mentality based on age, gender, or religion, or culture, or anything. People are people. What they've gone through has made them who they are today. Only what they add to themselves will change them. You can't change them. You can't change their views. Don't try. Don't worry about it. Worry about yourself. And how can you better you? Because only then could you really help somebody. Anything else is just judgments. Judgments that are not needed. Judgments, you don't want others to judge you, right? You don't want others to say, hey, oh, her hair looks like crap, or I liked her wig better, or whatever. Honestly, I don't care. But I was just using myself as an example. So, nobody wants to be judged. But everybody judges. Even I am guilty of judging. Yes, I know, I'm not perfect. Never claimed to be. But, I mean, there's times I still judge. And I go, that was really rude of me, and I have to, check myself and, put that out of my head and reverse it with some good karma. No, don't ever do something just to gain something, okay? Always do without expectation. Now, that's just a free piece of advice that will help you in general. But back to what we were talking about. I know I jump around a lot. I'm kind of all over the place because I think a lot. And it shouldn't be a bad thing to have an intellectual mind or to have multiple thoughts going on at once, right? I know, I talk to myself a lot. Anyway, where was I? Knowledge, experience, understanding. We went to the colonial days and where having your cake and eating it came from. So, how will all of this add to a better and more wholesome life, a happier life? Well, for one, it'll help daily. It'll help in your every minute, day-to-day living, because if you constantly remember that you do not have all the factors to make a judgment and that you do not understand something fully, then there's always more knowledge to be gained. And with that in mind, you don't become a cocky prick like me and say, I know to everything. And instead, you listen to what someone else has to say. Another helpful hint, if someone takes the time to explain something, you should take the time to listen. May not be important to you, but it may help them a lot. Have you ever just been talking out loud to somebody and you totally have a brilliant aha moment because you were just saying your words out loud? Huh? Sometimes people need a backboard. Sometimes you could be that backboard. Other times, it could dramatically alter your life. Other times it won't. But that's, again, the knowledge you don't have. So, understanding that there was always more knowledge to be gained allows us to continue to experience. Now that's important for when we get into our older years. Why? Because once you decide you're done learning, there's nothing more life can teach you, there's nothing more to experience, well, guess what? You're done living. And those who are mentally that way have already left mentally and spiritually. They're just shells of themselves and stuck in a body that's rotting. And it's sad. I've seen it happen, and I feel like I understand. I'm not going to say I understand, but I feel like I understand that it's when a person leaves mentally and spiritually, but the body remains, it's because others needed that body, that vessel, to remain for them, for their pillar of strength, not the other way around. And in a lot of cases, that's been more true than not. I, unfortunately, have had a lot of death in my life. I won't go through it all, but just to name a few, let's see, my dad, my stepmom, my girlfriend when I was 19, and lots of other things. But we don't want to get hung up on the negative, because every negative leads to positive. If you have gained understanding from the experience. Only then does the knowledge do you any good. Okay, I know, I've gone over this way too much. I'm kind of bored with them now. So, I've probably babbled more than I need to, and I'm sure I've got other shit I gotta do. So, yeah, there's my little tidbit for today, and welcome to the very first episode of Limitless Living. Hopefully you'll be back for more, and if you're not, well, I won't shed no tears because I won't know anyway. And if you are, well then welcome to the Limitless family. And please hashtag all your posts, hashtag Limitless, because what that does, another fun tidbit nobody knows, what is hashtagging? Does anyone know? Can anyone answer that? Please comment below if you can, because I would love to know that people are not stupid. I'm sorry, that people are not ignorant, because people aren't stupid in general. They're just ignorant, meaning they don't have the knowledge. So, hashtagging means each time someone searches a word, any word, the computer database has a system that hashtags it a number of times. So however many times that word has been searched is how many hashtags it has. Okay? So anytime you add a hashtag to a word, you're double stamping that word, so to speak. In other words, making it easier to find in Google search engines or Bing or Yahoo or whatever the hell you use. I don't care. They all work. It's all one big company, you know? They only do the competition for our benefit or to keep us busy, one of the two. I don't know. I don't have all that knowledge yet. But I do have partial understanding on a lot of things most people don't. And I say partial because I'm not going to claim to ever have full understanding. That's not possible. Because to understand everything, you must first be able to conceive of and then understand nothing. Now that means no light, no sound, no non-sound, so there's no silence, no darkness. You can't have light and darkness without light or darkness, right? I mean, one or the other have to be there. So it's just not even a void. It's not a void. It's not space. It's not anything. It's nothing. Whoa. Mind blown. Wrap your head around that one and tell me if you can. Then, if you can, congratulations. You're one of the few. Now, if you've experienced it, reach out because I'd like to talk to you because I've experienced it. Let me tell you, nothing isn't scary. It isn't fun. It's literally nothing. And being something in nothing, now that's something. I laugh because I get my words when others won't. Oh well, such is the curse of understanding, right? Yeah, anyway, I must stop babbling now. I will definitely be editing this video, at least to my best abilities. I mean, I'm no guru technical wise. Well, yeah, I kind of am, but no, not really. I don't know. We'll see. I really gotta shut the frick up.